Hi, this is Sanjay Sharma from salespathshala.com with post number 36. Today we shall be discussing about how do you build your sales volumes. We'll look at three factors which you focus and you can build on your sales volumes. These three factors are the quality of sales calls that you make, the conversion ratio that you have, and the number of calls that you make. We can understand this with the help of a simple example. You must have seen that whenever you're preparing food for a guest, let's say you are ordering for a coffee as a beverage. Now, let's say if you are getting 10 guests at a place, so the amount of ingredients will be according to 10 guests. Let's say if you get 100 guests, so the amount of ingredients that you need to prepare coffee for 100 guests would be definitely in proportion to the number of guests who are coming in. So it will be more than what you need for 10 guests. So similarly, the sales people have to understand that if you have to do n number of calls, you will get a fixed percentage of those calls as your sales. Assuming that the conversion ratio of an individual is 10%. If you make 100 calls, you will get 10 customers. Now that's a mathematical equation. Now if you have to get 20 customers, you have to make 200 calls. If you have to make 30 calls, you're going to get only 6 customers because your conversion ratio is just 20%. So mathematically, each salesperson will have somewhat a constant conversion ratio because of the quality of sales call that you make. Let's understand what constitutes the quality of sales call. While making a sales call, we do a lot of things. Right from the time we introduce ourselves to the prospect, to the time we go out and ask questions, probe into the needs of the customer, get more information on the customer and identify the needs of the customer. Then we have to propose a solution to the customer. Then the customer has to raise certain objections and then we answer those objections. The customer then agrees to the need, that he has a need, and we close the sale. If your product involves negotiation, you have to negotiate with the customer. So each of these things you have to do right. So what we are saying here is that you break down your call into each of these components and see how do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's say if you have identified the need of the customer, you rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10, which would mean either you will say you are getting 7 on 10 or 9 on 10 or 10 on 10. Now let's say you rate yourself as 7 on 10. So that would mean that you have yourself analyzed that there is an scope of improvement in your call. So you can move from 7 to 8 to 9 or to 10. So the quality of sales call that you're making is at 70% with respect to the factor of need identification. So with each of these factors, what we do, we focus on getting into a matrix and identifying the quality of sales call that we're making. Our conversion ratio will be affected by the quality of sales call that we make. The higher the quality of the sales call that we're making, we'll get a higher conversion ratio. So it is always very critical for us to keep on evaluating our sales call and see that we start focusing and working very hard to improve the sales call that we are making so that it eventually leads to increase in our conversion ratio. Having understood these two factors, let's look at the third factor. The third factor is the number of calls that you make. So once you know your conversion ratio, once you know the quality of call that you are making, you have to just increase the number of calls that you are making to get the right number of customers. Let's say you are selling a product. It can be anything, let's say air conditioners, or could be automobiles, or could be furniture, and your conversion ratio is 15%, which means that out of every 100 customers you are making a call to, you are getting 15 customers. Now if you have to get 30 customers who have to buy your product, you need to increase your calls to 200. So it's simple mathematics. But then with time, if you improve your quality of sales call, your conversion ratio will also improve. Let's say you keep working hard, focusing on the areas that need improvement, and you keep improving the quality of sales call that you're making. So with time, let's say you come from 15% conversion to 20% conversion. That would mean that now you're going to get 20 customers out of 100 customers. So if you meet 200 customers, you will get 40 sales. So we will also see in this that as the quality of sales call improves, the amount of cost that goes into your productivity reduces, the productivity goes up, and also the number of sales goes up. So the quality of sales call, as it goes up, it helps in improving the productivity, getting the higher numbers, and reducing the cost and the effort that we have to make to get the same amount of business. So what it means is that we can actually look at deciding about what sales you want to achieve and control these three things. If we focus on these three areas, we'll be able to control the kind of volumes that we do on a regular basis. So now we know how do we control the volumes and achieve the desired level of sales by focusing on these three things. What are these three things? First one is your quality of sales call, second one is your conversion ratio, and third one is the number of calls that we make. So we are ready to go into the market and get the desired volumes that we want. Let's go out, practice it, and create a great success story. Good luck.